The next app that we're talking about is called Craft. It's a note-taking app, which do we really need another note-taking app? We have Apple Notes, we have Good Notes, Notability, Bear, Notion. The list goes on and on and on. But Craft is actually crafted for the iPad first, and that makes a huge, huge difference. It does work on the Mac, it does work on the iPhone, but it really takes advantage of touch and drag and drop, and it's visual first, and it just feels native to the iPad. And if you're an iPad user, that's a big, big deal. Now, right off the bat, you're gonna see that this is a block-based Notes app. So that lets you do some really unique things. Notion, of course, is also block-based, probably the thing that popularized block-based note-taking. And Craft kind of picks that idea up and runs with it. It's gonna let you add a block from photos or your camera, from stock photos like Unsplash. You can add a sketch, a scan, some files. You can insert code, a formula, plain text. And there's some real benefits to working with blocks. I mean, it's really easy to drag something to a different place and reorder it, for instance. Of course, you can bulk edit things, if you want to group stuff together. That's really handy here. But I kind of like that it doesn't go nuts with the blocks. Notion is almost too in-depth. There's so many block options that it can be overwhelming for people, right? And I think most people probably end up not even fully exploring everything that Notion can do. This does a lot, but it keeps it simpler. So by default in Craft, you get a page, but anything within that page can also be turned into its own page. So you kind of end up with pageception. It's like pages within pages within pages, if you want. Something else that's cool is that you can change how each page looks. So you can kind of give it its own feel and personality. So I can click these dots, I can say page style, I can give it a cover image. So I'm just gonna come in here and pick a random photo for my header. I can choose to show the title or not, or the author. I can give the block spacing a dynamic or classic look. If I like the margins on the side, I can keep those at regular, or I can say, give me a wide view, but it's got some fun tricks. I can come in and hit slash and choose from all kinds of different types of blocks, like a list block, maybe a to-do block. With the slash, that's how you can change colors or indent or align things. I can even do things like insert the date, which is really handy. Now, let's see what happens when I paste a URL. Look at that, I got a card here, which takes me to a nice little preview without jumping into Safari or the browser. Now this URL preview is a good example of a card, and you can style these cards a little bit differently. You can do small, regular, or large for your cards, and by the time that you end up with several different cards, this really makes for a great way to visually see and organize things, right? Isn't this so much better than just seeing an actual text link in yellow like you see in Apple Notes? In fact, any kind of media that you put in here comes in as a card. So here's an Andy Mineo music video, and I'm just gonna give it a small card here. What happens when I click on it? It opens up a preview. I can see it right here. All right, here's what it looks like when I paste in a tweet. Again, it comes in as a card. This one I'm gonna style as a bigger version. And you know what, let's do this one as a bigger one too. And then once you get a bunch of these cards in, you can come in and drag those around and reorder them, which is great. Now look, here's something that's cool. Here's kind of an outline that I made for a video. But if I come in here and select a bunch of blocks, and I'm like, hey, those are related, they should be their own page, I can easily group those together. And then look, it's created a page within a page here. Then I can come in and give that group a title, and it's just a super cool way to organize your thoughts. And then of course, I can pick that up and drag that around. Now you can come in here and create a sketch block, which will then let you use the Apple Pencil. So your Apple Pencil is supported, but it's just the very basic default pencil kit Apple Pencil experience. I love that I can take a block and drag it over to the side and do a side-by-side view of my notes. Within Craft, you can have multiple instances open. The split screen support is incredibly good. And then of course I can come in and drag and drop stuff between the note that I just put over in the side window. And that works for your blocks as well if you need to transfer them. Something else that's very cool is that it has some widget support, so you can get a small, medium, or large widget. So you can just have one of your workspaces open, or you can just do a quick open if you want to dive right in to an important note. People are talking about Craft a lot on social media, and for a good reason. It's really full featured. It's putting the iPad front and center. and visually it's stunning. So should you check it out? Absolutely. What's the price? It's free for up to 1,000 blocks. That's enough to get you started for sure, and it's really cheap to push beyond that and get some extra features if you want to.